Shout out to Sheila and Hudson, who just sent in some very kind words for the team here at CJAD 800. You know, it's funny. I take 9 weeks off, do a parental leave. I'm back last week, first time back in a long time. And of course, what happens? I end up working an extra day, pressed into duty for Saturday. And Sheila, your very kind words about those that came in and did some extra duty on Saturday. Of course, it was on Saturday in the aftermath of what happened on Friday. You know, Joanne Brackus on air at 6 o'clock. We went straight through, of course, the Home Improvement Show, which airs on Saturday mornings. And then I came in at 10 o'clock to do some extra programming as you were faring with, you know, sometimes that worst case scenario in your basement, right? With that in mind, it was on Saturday morning that I got to bump into Walter Assi, our next guest, the president of Renovco, because he was doing the Home Improvement Show and taking so many calls from you. And after he was done with his hour, we were speaking. And Walter, I'll welcome you onto the show right now. Walter, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thank you, Elias.
And I remember you telling me that you've never seen the amount of calls you received. Why don't you give me the update from Saturday to today with what you've seen?
So, I mean, I've been doing this about 30 years. So I've been through the ice storm. I've been through the 17 floods, the 19 floods, any possible catastrophe in the last 30 years. I've been there in the forefront. The sheer volume is really, I can't even compare it to any event for that matter. We surpassed the 2,000 calls mark,
Wow.
I think, yesterday. So,
Wow.
and they're still coming in nonstop. The more particular thing about the storm is it's really all over the map. You're talking anywhere from the North Shore to the South Shore, extreme east to west. It's everywhere. Before, we used to have things a bit more localized, like the 17 flood, the city where the water bodies were close to water, what have you. But now it's really everywhere. Everywhere, from sewer backups to some pump failures to some pump not keeping up. A lot of the clients that we're seeing, the homeowners, they've done almost everything right. I mean, they've installed 2 sump pumps. They have backwater valves. They did everything that technically should be done, and they still somehow got flooded.
So, Walter, with that in mind, you've done everything right, and you still get flooded, and it's Monday. You've been on the phone over the weekend trying to get through to companies who are overwhelmed. Everyone's overwhelmed. What's your message to a homeowner who's had to do it on their own all weekend, still trying to get through? What should someone's focus be if they're still dealing with the aftermath of Friday?
Safety. The most important thing is safety. I go to a lot of homeowners. I'm seeing them, doing the demolitions or the cleanup themselves. They have no mask. They have no gloves. They don't have safety glasses on. Remember, this is contaminated water, so you cannot breathe that for a long time. You have to have P120 mask while you're working. Work safely. Work within your capacity. I mean, I'm seeing older people, they have health problem. I seen a client yesterday, she has COPD, she's working herself. Nothing is worse at your health is worth a lot more than that. So just be careful, kind of time yourself, do not overexert yourself, and eventually help will come, right? If you can't do it, you can't do it. Eventually help will come somehow. I mean, the idea behind it is get things that are wet out as fast as possible.
Uh-huh.
I was with Andrew Carter this morning, and I was saying a lot of people are scared to do things because they couldn't reach the insurance. I just want to clarify this point, Elias, because in most cases, they're not doing themselves a favor, and I explain why. The problem with sewer backups and overland water is the vast majority of policies have limitations on that. So you're not insured like a normal, in most cases, you're not insured like a normal water damage from a roof or what have you. So what's happening is the more you're waiting, the more the damage gets aggravated. So if you have a $20,000 limitation, most often than not, it's not nearly enough to what you've lost in contents, because you've lost furniture, you've lost electronics, you've lost the freezer, you've lost the furnace, and so on and so forth. So you're going to pass that. So chances are the insurance company is going to come. They're going to take a quick look and they're going to just cash you out because they know that, okay, look, between the demolition, the reconstruction, the content, we're going to surpass that point. But you're going to be stuck with all the aggravated damages, the mold. Right now, if you had 3 inches of water in your basement, you might get away with cutting your drywall at 2 feet. But, you do it in a week. You need to go at 4 feet. You do it a bit later. It's going to be all the walls. So that's going to cost you more money in the reconstruction. So we have to be very careful from that. The other thing is the type of products you're using to disinfect. Stay away from Javel. I don't know who gave the idea that Javel is good. What you want to use is products that cater to mold, like Benefect, like Foster, Cognorium, these type of mold control. These are the right products to use in a situation like that. Nothing. If you don't research it and back it up, don't do it because you're probably not gonna do yourself a favor in the process. Something else that is very important, and I want to caution everyone: we're going to homeowners that have had 2, 3, 4 feet of water in their basement, and they had hot water tanks down there, and they're still taking showers. That hot water tank is contaminated now. The water in it is contaminated. The hot water tank itself have insulation. When the insulation gets wet, that hot water tank is no good anymore.
Oh, boy.
Okay? So be careful. If you can call a plumber and change your hot water in the case where you had a lot of water. So it has to pass the benchmark of really the threshold of the insulation cap. You see 4 screws at the bottom. If the water reach anywhere close to that, then you know that your hot water tank is no good.
And Walter, before I have to wrap up here, just on the people that are doing it on their own, whether it's because the policy doesn't cover, they haven't been able to reach someone, that kind of thing, on what needs to be thrown out. Do you find sometimes people trying to save things that they should not be trying to save?
Yes. And believe it or not, sometimes things with no real value. Like anything that, needless to say, anything that is perishable, that's no good. Anything that is not sealed is no good. Anything that is porous or fabricy that was floating in water is no good. Like carpets, for example, throw carpets, especially the ones that have not a lot of value. It's going to cost you more to clean it than to keep it. And the humidity that's going to come out of it, keeping it in your basement, is going to create you mold like you'd never believe. So nothing good is going to come out of that. Clothes, fabrics, mattresses, pillows, these are things that I would not keep if they were floating in water, especially if it's sewer water for that matter.
Well, Walter, listen, we have to leave it there. I know it has been a busy time, not just on Friday, but before that in the Montreal area. So thank you so much for coming on the program, and we'll catch you again real soon.
Always a pleasure.
President at Renovco, that's Walter Assi right there.